I built the Sci-fi bunker in 7 Days to Die, and it came out really cool. This base has a crafting room, a laboratory, a fighting position, and much more. So without wasting any more time, I bring to you Zenith Haven. So once again, I'm going to give you a tour of the base, let you in on my thought process when I was building this, and I just want to say this is probably the nicest base I've ever built. So with that being said, let's jump right into it. Alright, so coming out to the front of the base here, you'll notice there's a lot going on out here. I was really going for that sci-fi bunker look, and I think I encapsulated that pretty well. You can see up on the roof here, I have a couple of industrial fans on each side, couple of radar antennas, and then I also have an emergency broadcast antenna over here. I also built this box component over here that houses the pump, and this brings water up from the ocean into the base. And one thing that I'm really proud of, I think this platform came out really nice. It definitely encapsulates that futuristic, like, metal platform look. And also, you probably noticed these giant cement blocks just kind of holding up the rock on the outside. So I'm just going to show you one last thing and then we'll head inside. So up here you can see I have this doorway. So basically you can go in here and there's actually this section in here where you can like walk across. And how this works, there's a door here that leads all the way down to the security guard's office. And then there's also this door that comes out to this walkway that goes across right there. So that's pretty much it for the outside. I don't want to spend too much time out here. I do want to head inside because, you know, there's a lot more to show you. So let's jump down to ground level and then we'll head inside. Alright, so coming up to this entrance, you can see I have a security grate down in the floor. I have 3 lights on each side, and then of course we have a camera. So how this works, security is going to see us as long as we're authorized to go inside. They're going to open the door. So once you come through this door, you're not actually going to be in the vault yet. This is going to bring you into this hallway here, and I think this hallway looks really nice. I got some ideas on Pinterest for this. Basically, I was looking up sci-fi hallways and futuristic corridors and stuff like that. And I think I would call this like a checkpoint kind of. So you're going to come into this section. Security's going to be looking down at you. You know, they're going to see if you're authorized to actually go into the laboratory or not. And as long as you're authorized to go in, you'll be able to go in this decontamination section. Once you come in here, you're going to get decontaminated. Once all contaminants are removed, you can enter the actual laboratory. Alright, so coming into the laboratory, check this out. I really love the way this came out. I don't know if any of you have ever read the book Jennifer's Morgue, but that is literally where I got all of my ideas for this laboratory. So what we're going to do first is go over here in this section. This is actually my office slash crafting room. So coming in here, you'll notice I have my little office section. I have my crafting set up, and I'm not really going to go over like everything I have in here. You can kind of just see that for yourself. So this doorway leads out to this balcony that wraps around the entire lab. You can see we have a hallway that goes down to a room here. This hallway goes down to the fighting position, and then across the way we have another room that I'll show you in just a minute. Alright, so that's pretty much it for the crafting room. Let's head downstairs. Coming downstairs, you can see on each side of me I have 4 cryopods, and I also have some tanks down there built under this platform. Those tanks are mainly just for looks, but these cryopods do have zombies inside. You can see we have a zombie in this tank, we have another one in this tank, and then so on and so forth, going all the way down. Coming under the stairs here, you can see I have 4 more zombies in these tanks over on this side. I have these computers hooked up to each one of these cryopods just for like roleplay purposes, and I think these came out pretty cool. Alright, so that's pretty much it for this bottom section here. Let's head over to this staircase and we'll go up to the main attraction of this laboratory. So heading up to this top section, you can see I have this giant tank here with 4 zombies inside. And basically how this works, the secret chemical that we're using is going to drip down through these tubes into this top roof section where it's going to get evaporated and then pushed down through the vents. And that's how we administer this drug to the zombies via airborne. One other cool thing I like about this laboratory section here, you can see under this platform, that's where I have my little office section where I do all my studying. ceiling. You can see we got a computer in here, got a laptop, we got this little computer set up, chalkboard, got some clipboards on the wall, and then we have a couple of storage containers for lab 1 and lab 2. Alright, so what we're gonna do now is actually, let's head over here really quick so I can show you this section. This is actually an observation tank here. So you can see I have a couple of chairs outside this room, got a couple of cameras so we can record what's going on in there. We have a zombie inside here right now, and basically he's just sedated. We got a medical bed, and yeah, there's not really a whole lot going on in there. That's basically just where we put zombies after we administer new drugs. Got some screens up on the wall in here, and then I have this computer section kind of just wrapping all the way around. And I do want to apologize for my frame rate. I have so many lights in this laboratory that it's just killing my frame rate. Alright, so let's come over here now, and we're gonna head up this staircase. So once you come up here, we're actually gonna wrap around here and come back to this hallway that I showed you just a little while ago. Once you come all the way down here, that's gonna bring you to this door. It says danger hazard area, and basically inside here we just have a giant generator built into the floor, have some lights built into the ceiling here, and then all the way in back I have 4 generators. So this is basically just your typical generator room, and those 4 generators on that back wall power the entire base. Alright, so let's close that. There's not really a whole lot going on in there. It's just your typical little generator room. So coming around this corner, now we're gonna head all the way down here, and the first thing you'll notice is that I have these servers built into the wall here. Got a couple of lights. We have these ventilation things built in there. I think those look pretty cool. Give the base some character. All the way down here, I have this door, and this is gonna bring us into the fighting position. So believe it or not, guys, this base does have a fighting position. Let's come in here and close that. So how this works, we basically have 2 switches. One switch goes to the electric fence post, and then this switch here opens and closes this door. And then when you come out into this room, this is your typical like bedrock base setup. So how this works, zombies are going to fall down through this hole, or they're basically gonna ragdoll down, I should say. And then I have this top structure right here. You can see I got some spotlights on each corner, got 4 turrets on the roof with a battery bank. So yeah, during horde night, zombies are just going to be running in from all directions. They're going to come over to this hole here, jump down onto this pole where eventually they'll ragdoll down, and then we're just going to be back here fighting them from behind the fighting position. This room used to be where we kept all the dead zombies, and we converted it into a horde base. And I think this room is awesome. You can see I got spotlights in each corner. I have these sections here where you can see the red sandstone through the wall. We have this giant platform with 3 ramps going up, so that way zombies have a way to come up. And then yeah, this isn't really done yet, but I definitely think this room has a lot of potential. So let's go back in here. Another thing I'll show you really quick, I do have this door, and this goes down to this hallway section, which comes down to this door, and this is so you can come down here during horde night and you can grab all your loot bags and stuff like that. And I just think this came out really cool. You can see I have this ladder so we can jump back up. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this fighting position. Like I said, it's not really done yet, but I mean, it definitely gives you an idea of, you know, what I was building here. And I just think it has a lot of potential. So there's only like 1 or 2 more rooms, I think. So let's come down here, and really quick, I'll just show you, like you can see these computers built into the wall here, a couple of workstations here coming down in the corner. You can see this is where I have like all of my servers. Got this pipe here built into the wall, got an emergency light. So yeah, that's that corner section. And then when you come over to this hallway, this is actually going to bring you down to the cafeteria. So check this out. We do have a cafeteria, and this laboratory is only like a 5 or 6 man operation, so we didn't really have to build like that big of a cafeteria. But you can see here we do have a working stove, and we also have this refrigerator here that works for storage. So yeah, that's the cafeteria. I think this came out pretty cool. This room is mainly just for aesthetics. It doesn't serve much of a purpose, but it looks pretty cool. Alright, so now we're going to come down this way, and this is going to bring us all the way down to my security guard's office. Whoops. because that was supposed to be closed. But one thing you'll notice, we got a window up there so security can look down here in the lab. I have 2 doors on each side here. Once you come in this room here, there's going to be this staircase, and this goes up to the security guard station here where they can just like look down at people coming in. They got some weapons on the wall and stuff, and like I said, they have this window looking down into the lab, and it's basically the same thing over on this side leading down to that door. And one cool thing about this, you can actually come over here to this ladder, and this leads up to this hallway section that goes all the way down to the beginning of the base where I showed you in the beginning of the tour. This door here comes out to this walkway section. I think I already showed you all this, but so let's come over here to this ladder. You can actually come up here, and that's going to bring you to this door that leads out to this top balcony section right here. And that brings us to the beginning of the base here, and that's pretty much it. Alright, so that's pretty much it for this base tour. If you guys can do me a huge favor, please leave a like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers now. I did recently hit 500, so I want to say thank you to all of you that subscribed. It means a lot to me. These bases take a long time to make, and without your subscription, I wouldn't be able to do this. So with that being said, I'll see you in the next one, and peace out, guys.